We're clean now. Sorry for those technical moments.
Okay, the answers are in unison. I make a motion, we open the meeting.
I second.
Roll call, trustee Lightgib, trustee Lampier,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer. Motion passes.
Okay, is there any board member who has a conflict of interest or anything to disclose regarding the agenda items before us?
I do not.
I do not.
I do not.
I do not. Okay, with that being said, would the clerk please read the open meeting compliance certification, or let me give us
Sure.
overview?
We're simply going to say if you're in the meeting room or online, if you're online, if you wish to ask a question of the board, please raise your hand. If you wish for me to ask the question, put it in the question in the Q&A. I'm going to get it right this week.
Mhm.
If you're in the audience, please, the board will call and give your name and address for everybody unless it's not needed by law. And outside of that, let's all keep it friendly and move from there.
Thank you so much. So with that being said, let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. Trustee Lightgib, would you lead us?
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, is there any public comment before we start? Is there anybody online, Dorothea?
We have
For
people
comment
online.
or For public comment,
No comment at this time.
okay. I'm gonna switch a few things on the agenda just because we have some things that we can quickly go through. We're just gonna start with item number 2, which is just a separate public hearing for a short-term retail business application. Dorothea, do we have that information for us, or?
Yep, it's in the
Steve has-
packet. Steve can
Steve has some
provide.
as well, okay?
Yeah, I've been authorized by Charlie to represent him. Charlie Haas, hours are 10 to 3 p.m. They take care of their own garbage. They have their permission from the town already. He's proposing the ability for 7 days a week, 10 to 3. And that's what was proposed to the town and approved.
Well, he has the new digs over there,
Yeah.
you know.
So that helps clarify. So that's the reason why it's coming back to us, because it's a change. Is
Mm,
that correct or no? It's
No.
always in the public hearing? Every
This
single year?
application does.
This
This-
It's a short-term retail.
You're
It's not-
thinking, yeah,
I'm thinking what?
non-municipal.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
this is new than what he normally does.
No,
Every year?
this
No?
was
No,
that,
the same exact thing he's been doing for 13 years.
So my question to you is, just tell me process. So every year, he does the same thing, and it's gotta come back to us, and it's gotta be a public hearing.
Mhm.
Every single year.
Because it's a short-term retail, that's the requirement in the code. For a short-term retail permit.
Okay.
We're stuck by law. We have to do this.
Yeah. Charlie's in the lead. Yeah,
We
really.
did change for non-municipal use permits, we made that under the purview of the clerk and
The
building inspector.
Mhm, correct.
Short-term retail had some other, I think more detail to it and sometimes changes, so I think that at the time we reviewed it, we determined to leave it in the hands of the trustees, so that is why.
All right, thank you for clarification.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Received? There,
I have a motion
yeah, it's to set the date for the
for the
public.
public.
Yeah, so the date that's available.
February 25th at 6 p.m.
Okay. I would like to make a motion that we move the application special retail, short-term retail, for holiday pots to February 25th at 6 p.m.
Second motion.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall, trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Aye.
trustee Lampier,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up, and I put this on the agenda, because it's coming up, well, it is already the bicentennial year. This is the Canal Bicentennial Celebration. The celebration will be all along the entire Erie Canal system. We have sort of a little memorandum about it, with, the Seneca Chief, which is a replica of the boat DeWitt Clinton, actually took down the canal, 200 years ago. We'll be sailing from Buffalo and we'll be stopping here in Pittsburgh. And we're excited about it. We're going to have, some nice events along Shane Place. It's gonna be in the fall. It's gonna be next September. But just kind of giving everybody a heads up. And, as the season comes about in the village, when the weather's warm, there probably will be some more events, and we're gonna be reaching out. We're gonna be working with, the town and village historian, maybe for some events. Also Historic Pittsburgh, Cornhill Navigation, that kind of thing. So just wanted to, kind of raise the awareness on that, because I think it's gonna be a really, really great event. One other thing too, prior to that, I think it's the weekend before, is the World Canal Conference, which for the first time is being hosted in Buffalo, New York. It literally is a worldwide conference for any country that has a canal. It's been held in Panama, it's been held in Poland, it's been held everywhere. We're excited because of the bicentennial that is actually going to be held right here in the Finger Lakes region and west in Buffalo. So there'll be a lot of activity, I think, in our community.
Yeah, Mayor, so the Seneca Chief is gonna be here on the 28th of September, is that
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then, so the Canal Conference is the week before, so
Yeah, I'll-
20th-ish?
I think so. I can send out a bulletin
Okay,
about it
that's great.
too. Yeah, this is pretty great. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Exciting.
Yeah, it really is. It's all good. Okay, so next up, the tax override law.
We bring this to the board every year. This is local law that we put forth in case we have to override our tax cap. This is also preventative measure, so if we didn't override the amount given by law, if we inadvertently did, we'd be covered. So we didn't have any repercussions from doing so. So it's a preventative maintenance as well as just practice in case we do have to override. So we get it done.
Last year, we did it at the same time that we adopted the long-term capital plan, is that right?
I think we did it a meeting before. You have to do it before you adopt the budget.
Yeah, so before we adopted budget, and we adopted the long-term capital plan the same day that we adopted.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I think we did go ahead and do it earlier in the budget season.
Mhm.
I've always proposed it early on, so we get it done, so it's on the books and it's
Mhm.
just
And
done.
This is to exceed the 3%,
It's 2.5.
2.5.
2.5 and, we usually don't, it's just really a safeguard more than anything.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
I think it's pretty much an absolute that in the absence of reassessments,
I know,
right?
Yeah.
Inflation happens,
yeah,
and the only way to adjust for inflation is to be able to deal with it within the rate.
Right.
Regrettably, we make it up, but I'd rather do it than not.
Right.
Given that
the environment.
we're 90% of the way through the long-term capital plan already, so I'm open to other perspectives.
As far as the timeline, does it make sense to do this in this meeting, or do we have another meeting to postpone it, so we're a little bit further along the budget cycle?
You can set your public
did
hearing at
that.
any time. You
Yeah,
don't
we can set
have
the
to go
hearing.
for the 26th. If you wanted to do it the first meeting in March, we could do that. I just like to get, you know,
Get it on the books, as
This
they
is
say.
just a
it's, it's a clerk reminder that comes in and I'm like, get it on the agenda because I don't want to forget.
What would that March date be then?
You would ask.
Or later, like you said, just in the process.
Yeah, that's
I like
fine.
If it works.
That would be March 11th.
Okay, is that good? Okay, March 11th, everybody. Is there a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to set a public hearing for March 11th at 6 p.m. for the tax override law.
I'll second the motion.
We have second and roll call, please.
Okay, trustee Cove,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Okay.
trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next, the flower beds, our flower baskets. Lily, thanks for putting it together.
Sure. The bid is in the packet. We only received one. I think, for future reference, I think where we are generally is that they are the only provider in the area. So it might be worth over the summer discussing as a board what other options might exist. Because if the fund should decide to retire, then we are gonna have to
It's the
have
only
another
game in
option.
town right now. Yeah, and it has been for several years, right? Yeah. Yeah, Dorothea.
Real quick, there was a response from Bristol's.
Oh, was there?
Yes, they declined to bid this year, but they're building new facilities and they said they would bid next year.
Fabulous.
Okay,
Yeah,
but we did reach out to two other
Right.
and we had no response, so
So do we know why we're not getting a response, Dorothy? Do you have a
they
feeling?
just declined to bid.
So I'm wondering, again, I brought this to the board last time, is that I'm just wondering if the business would be more interested if we did a 2 or 3 year contract with them. So that we can kind of, first of all, set a price, right?
Mhm.
Second of all, they know that they will have 3 years of business. And then it's probably gonna be even easier in our budget as well. So I would like to look into maybe some 2 or 3 year contract with a provider. And it's not like we change our flowers that drastically. Anybody have any comment on that?
I don't foresee it as a problem. I'd have to talk to Jeff, but you know,
Yeah, they're a provider. I mean, I don't know. It just depends, I think, also on the industry. Again.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever that is.
absolutely. I mean,
Market
it's been
value.
standard to bid yearly, but
Mm.
if the board wants to change that to go ahead to a 2 or 3 year, we can look into it.
Okay, so that's the action item is to follow up and look into that. Especially if Bristol's maybe coming online at this point too, they may be
Mhm.
interested in doing that.
Dorothea, can you put out a bid
For the bid,
as
okay.
options? Where you say, we're looking for a flower provider, please provide bids for 1, 2, and 3 year options for the following. And then we can compare the savings. if there's-
I think we can. We did that similarly with the refuse district. We
Mhm.
gave them an option to bid for 1 year or 2.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get a 2. I don't see why we can't. And, you know,
To me, that seems to make sense.
I think we,
You're-
I think
Yeah,
you'd want to
it's-
build in, you know, certain things with changing of flowers, whatever, because we give them specifically the flowers we're looking for every year. So maybe, you know, a more long-term look on that.
They would probably give us, I would think, just with the nursery business, that they would give us specific parameters of what we could have.
Right.
Because that's part of their bid.
You have to get a little too exotic on them, the price and stuff. It's
Yeah.
hard to find.
So maybe we
know,
could
for
build
their-
those in if it's changed per this, it's only, you know. I'd say we have to look at it and build the bid.
Are you, I guess, I'm not a flower guy, but are you suggesting every year we might get a more exotic take on different flowers and?
I know we change colors, I know we change some plants.
We just change colors. We don't change types or do anything.
I think so.
This time we changed out, I conferred with the Pittsburgh Garden Club.
Mhm.
And they gave suggestions and guidance and changed out the lilies for a grass, which is typically a less expensive option.
Mhm.
The others are the same, a variety, different colors. And there was also an addition of a filler called Creeping Benny. Also, so that it wasn't basically different than other years, except I think there were a couple of options that were less
I
expensive.
think.
You can include the
Yeah.
varieties that you might be
Right.
using and whatever,
I think
and
that can be part of the research to bring back to the board.
Yeah.
for sure.
I definitely we can do that.
So the bid was for $5,994. That includes fertilizers, cocoa liners. And I think some replacement baskets, some get damaged, and I think those were included in the bid as well. So I will look for a motion.
Is there a motion to approve?
Approve.
Make a motion to approve.
My second,
Roll call?
Okay, trustee Coe,
aye.
trustee Lanfear,
Aye.
trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, interested agency notification, this is, regarding East Rochester's, updating their comprehensive plan. And so, when that happens, the municipality will notify, adjacent municipalities, other agencies of interest in the county. Who am I leaving out? I don't, interested parties, as they say.
Yeah.
So, we really don't have to provide a response. No response would be the response that, hey, looks good, congratulations, you did your plan. If the board had any specific comments that we would want to have go back. I say. Good luck with your new business.
That's wishes.
Yeah. Good luck.
Let us know if you need anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
the
your
response is, not to put pressure on the board, the response is due tomorrow.
neighbors.
So,
I think, I'm good with,
For sure. Yes.
that's
Positive
it.
response.
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. We wish you luck.
Yeah, that's good.
We don't need any kind of resolution, it's just more review and respond. Do we need anything?
No, I don't think
I
you
don't
need,
think
because
you
you
need
could
enough of
do
the-
nothing. I think we wanted to inform the board
Yeah.
that we received it.
Yeah,
It's
let's-
always your decision. So,
Oh. Okay, so let's swing then back up to the discussion on short-term rental law public hearing comments. And to schedule a meeting with the PZBA board to discuss their provided comments.
And so I just wanted to bring it back to the board because we had a public hearing, we had some significant response by residents and business owners alike. I think the general atmosphere is a little bit calmer this last one. I think everybody's kind of getting a little burned out there, but I just thought it would be important if the board wanted to bring anything up about what they heard at that public hearing. And then also, I thank Justin and his board for giving us some significant input on zoning and the zoning changes that he would recommend. And I'd like to move forward and schedule a meeting with that zoning board.
So the meeting would be, like a workshop,
Yeah, I think a
okay, so,
workshop.
just so we're understanding, because again, yeah, thanks so much for all your good work, on behalf of the board. All the comments that you all put together. So I think, we should have some type of a workshop where we can really kind of take our time and, get everybody sort of engaged. As we go forward, there's always more moving parts than you think, right? So with that being said, should we take a look at some dates then that maybe could work for folks?
I've had no input from other members of the planning board as to when they'd be available or.
Oh, okay, so the other board members,
This is the first I'm
Don't know,
aware
okay.
of a joint meeting,
so,
so we haven't formally discussed it. I think it's a good idea,
okay,
but like I said, I don't know people's availability.
well, then should we have their clerk,
Yep.
poll the board, your board, and see what's available and,
I'll have Alexandria look
Reconnect.
at dates for both boards and
Okay.
see if there can be a
Okay.
joint meeting
Yeah.
date.
Okay, so that'll be our action item.
Does that sound okay, Justin?
I'm not fine with things, I don't know anyone else's opinion, but we've had some of these in the past and they've been helpful. Getting a few more heads, thinking about things and, looking up the laws, cleaning up definitions and so on. The general comments from the planning board have mostly been, policy neutral. So it's more about how to get this to be a more clear law with your policy that you've, proposed. And I think, and Steve can attend as well, that would also probably be beneficial.
Okay, so we'll have the action item then as Alexandria.
Hmm.
We'll pull those
Yes.
boards. Yeah.
Does it make sense in the meantime, before we meet to see what our attorney thinks about the proposed changes, since they seem to mostly be reflective of his part of the contribution here in terms of how the legislation is structured? That way, if he's got, his input to us ahead of time, it might just be.
I would say it would be both attorneys for each board. Should take a look.
Sure.
Yeah, I would think, you have your own attorney, I would think the information should be forwarded to both,
That's a good idea. So they're aware of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the meeting's to include both the attorneys for that.
And pass.
Well, they should review the comments that have already been made, so they.
Oh, good.
Before
Yeah,
the-
in other words, let's set up the material.
Okay, so both attorneys to review the materials to provide input for the
And
meeting.
so the material then that we receive And he's already been reviewed by your entire board?
Here, let me grab this out.
Well, we have copies of everything, Justin.
This, I don't know if you have this.
Oh,
This
Okay.
was, I just want to explain some of the background here. These are some comments I sent around in early December. And I also presented it to the, members of the planning board. And, that was a suggested abbreviation of the law to simplify it just for residential districts. And basically stripped it down to like one page from 6 pages or so.
yeah, we have.
And so we showed that to members of the planning board, and there is some of the things in there wasn't necessarily broad agreement on, like what definition should be, definitions, you know, there's debates to be had there. But the structure of it, and what's turned into our letter is, there was pretty broad agreement among planning board members about that.
Okay, so yeah, we received, this is great, so thank you. So, this is what we'll be following up on.
So those are my comments, and then you had a letter from the planning board,
Which was put together by everybody on the planning board with your
Yes.
approval. Okay, just so we're on kind of who's doing what. Okay,
correct,
okay.
These were your comments, and then what was in the packet was the planning board comments, right?
correct.
Thank you.
Just to
Can I have a
clarify.
copy for the record, please?
I think we've got a, Justin, we have a digital copy. of
Yeah,
this?
we have a digital
Yeah,
already.
you can have
Yeah,
mine.
Yeah.
I emailed this around
Yeah,
like.
great.
Did you copy? the
Oh,
third
just so I
email?
have it to make sure I do.
Okay, anytime there's any correspondence coming before the board members, please copy in the village clerk, everybody should just know that. She has a legal duty as keeper of records of all correspondence and things like that, so just make sure you keep her in the loop, as I said, okay?
I think I initially forwarded it to, liaison for their consideration, and then it got forwarded around to further.
Yeah, but just as a matter of course, that would be appropriate, you know, also as a member of the board, the board too, so thank you for that. Okay, let's see, moving on. Well, why don't we switch over to Simon Suchet?
We're flying.
We are cruising. Okay, building inspector report. I see, okay. Anything for? Building inspector. Folks. I know you've been chasing down a lot with rentals and,
We're good, Mary.
yeah, we're almost there, which is great. Yeah,
And what it's doing is providing a lot of other information about properties, of, you know, names that are changed, or be to know about things like that.
this is good because really what you're creating is a fully currently updated database, so we appreciate that. I know it's.
Steve, I have a question. The old Via Grisol building updates,
Pardon?
the old Via Grisol building updates.
Oh, be a Giro
Or
Solar.
Via Gisol.
Yeah, they're big.
Via Girasole.
I mean, they've been cleaning it up. They put some new doors in the one end, they re-sided, they fixed the windows rather than replacing them. No word on any tenant or, you know, anybody moving in at this point yet.
Okay.
It's Via Giro Solis, the properties right when you come up onto Shane Place.
The old one.
Yeah, the old wine bar, so.
I guess the other question is, why residents have been asking about what's happening at the Blue Horn. Doesn't look like there's much movement there, anything on your end?
Oh,
The people want.
it's funny, the gentleman called me today and was wondering about getting a sign in, but his coach is way late, and he's not coming back here. These people that have started are in Florida right now, they're snowbirds.
Okay.
So they are going to be coming back in, he comes back in next Thursday, and then he'll be putting an application for a new sign. He has to go to the health department, yeah, and get approval there.
But his plan is still the same, he's still planning on coming back, doing his beef on live cabinet.
We're focused on that.
Yeah. Okay, just make sure.
We're ready to
Okay.
order.
Success.
It's just ready.
He didn't run, let's say that. He's
Yeah,
still
no,
planning.
he's still,
Okay.
Brad's still planning on doing it.
He's golfing in Florida. So, yeah, Justin.
I don't think I had ever seen the word columbarium before. Are there any code considerations related to the review of columbarium in the village?
Wait, what is that?
Oh, good, yeah.
It holds cremated remains. I don't know, I just. I've
I
known
don't
some-
know if we can do anything about that. That's a, I would suppose maybe HPV could.
No, I mean, I don't, I'm just I'm just curious.
I know, it's interesting.
Yeah. All right,
I would have thought they would have called it the 19th hole, you know what I mean? Just because they're all golfers, they're all the people from Oak Hill,
oh, huh.
yeah.
Okay, anything else for Steve? Yep, thanks so much, Steve. Thanks for all your good work. Okay, next up, DPW report. Yeah, thanks to the entire crew for getting up at 3 AM so many times to like keep things clear. It's salted, so. I understand we had a neighbor bringing bagels for everybody, so thank you. So that's nice. Yeah, okay, so you had Zach's write-up. Any questions for Zach? All's good in the realm? Okay,
Actually, there's a little education for me. I thought that putting salt on the sidewalks was a good thing, but then somebody says you're not supposed to put salt on sidewalks. How do you clear the sidewalks so that people can walk safely throughout our village? Because it's crazy dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous everywhere, but is there a magic to that? I mean, can you use salt
Not
on
really.
sidewalks?
There's no perfect solution to that problem, other than heated sidewalks. Salt causes problems for pets and also the concrete. Calcium, which is kind of similar but less severe. All of it's expensive, and then also to get the machinery to be able to apply it, and also the supplies to be able to, you know.
and the policy's been that property owners are responsible for their piece of sidewalk in front of the property, even though you do clear it.
Yeah.
So if you want to have additional salt, or, that's on the owner, or do additional clearing.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so the owner is responsible for their sidewalk around their property.
Mhm.
And then have you ever heard of people using sand?
Yes,
Mhm.
that's common practice in some places, and we do sometimes use that as a mixture with the road salt that we have. But that also comes with its own environmental impacts as well. Putting sand down is not a perfect solution to the problem. It might be a quick fix, but then there's also a lot of cleanup after the fact too.
Yeah, everything sort of has a
Yeah,
different consequence, and
Sure.
it's just really trying, I hear where you're coming from, just
we,
trying to manage as best we can when we're having freeze-thaw cycles over and over again. Yeah,
Let me ask you another thing, like about litigation. So somebody said that if you salt, you start salting, and then one day you don't salt, and somebody falls, then we're liable, as compared to not salting ever. I mean, all these, people are like talking all about the sidewalks, so, is there a litigation issue with somebody falling in the village on ice? I mean, do we have to worry about stuff like that?
that's always,
There's
no matter what.
always-
Has it ever happened to
It's like-
our village? Yeah.
Well,
I think, yeah, okay, I'm just
I-
curious.
I would guess we've had claims, but it's also notice of defect, and if whether or not we can clear the situation, it depends on any matter when a claim is filed.
Yeah, it's case by case, I guess.
Yeah.
You can indict
It's
him.
typically, if we get a phone call of a dangerous situation, we dispatch DPW ASAP because it has to be rectified.
Okay.
Because if we don't take care of it, then it creates a legal issue.
Yeah,
All right, thanks, guys.
and other things you wanted to cover? with the
Yeah,
board?
I would like approval to purchase, truck 3, it's replacement.
And this was discussed in our budget
Yeah.
workshop as well, just, taking that action this year.
Yeah, this is something that was already approved,
Mhm.
and is in the multi-year plan, so,
And just it's in the multi-year plan, and just for the record, can you describe what truck 3 is?
truck 3 is, the current truck 3 is a 2016 Ford F-350 pickup truck. And it would be replacing that.
And the board has the information there about the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the quote is what it is, what was budgeted for is what I'm asking for approval still. Just based on some other things I would like to add to the truck after we take delivery of it. This is, toolboxes, cameras, and, that's all I have. But more lighting, just for safety on the roads, and then our, CD radio installations.
So you're trading in the one that we have now?
Yeah, that would go to auction
Why wouldn't you?
potentially in the fall. Go ahead.
Why didn't you just transfer that stuff from that truck we have now onto the new truck?
There's still labor costs associated with that,
Oh.
and the old truck, the toolbox is broken at this point, has been functioning for a while. It doesn't have the lighting that,
Okay.
hoping to add to this truck, and it does not have the camera system.
Yeah, so this is really an upgrade,
Yeah.
better technology.
Yeah, and based on some of the issues that we've had, just being out on the road and operating, and trying to get cameras in other vehicles, something that records. So any issues that do happen,
Yeah.
will hopefully be some video evidence of how it happened or what happened.
Yeah,
Something to be able to refer back to.
cameras are helpful.
And we're talking the total cost being what?
Well, I would like approval for what was budgeted in, multi-year plan, which is $70,000.
Mhm.
The quote is for 58,756.16.
So you're looking, it could go up,
Yeah.
up to, but not exceed.
Yes, because
Based on what we already have in the budget. Right now, it's below budget, but you'd like to add on a few things that you just mentioned to.
correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Budgeted, we need the truck.
Yeah.
Any other questions, or is there a motion? Yeah, yes, Dorothea.
Sorry to butt in, but it's a two-part motion if the board's looking to do this. The one motion would be to approve the purchase. The second would be to transfer the funds that are currently set for the reserve for equipment to go into the vehicle line,
To move the funds,
to move the funds.
so there'd be two separate motions,
Correct.
okay. Is there a motion? He needs a truck.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a replacement for truck number 3. For a total price not to exceed $70,000.
We have a second? A quiet second?
Okay, trustee Cove, trustee Lampier,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Part two,
Yeah, so this is from the vehicle reserve fund.
Yes,
to
for the
go
reserve
to
that
general.
we put in, yes, we put 100,000 to go into reserve.
Mhm.
To make this happen, we'd have to move it out of there into the actual vehicle purchase line.
Will we go directly to the purchase line or is the general to be able to fund the purchase?
Yeah, it goes right into the budgetary line.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to transfer the $70,000 from the vehicle reserve fund to the budget line to fund the purchase of this vehicle.
nice. Is there a second? Okay, we have a second, roll call please.
Trustee Lampier,
Aye.
trustee Marshall, trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, anything else for us this evening, staff? That's right. Not bad. It's good. Needed that truck for a while.
Could I interject for just on a topic that we are covered? This has to do with East Rochester comprehensive plan and just spending more time walking through trucks. Anyway, the poverty and public assistance line in the East Rochester comprehensive plan reflects as poverty statistics in 2022 as East Rochester households below the poverty level 8%, Fairport 21%, Pittsburgh 14%, North County 45%. And then it goes into receiving public assistance at 26% and food stamps at 14%, all of which are above East Rochester statistics as well with Fairport statistics. I'm not quite sure where the statistics came from, but just that on the face of it seems a little off. So maybe you could just ask them to clarify the source.
They could provide the data source.
Yeah,
Data source for the
Okay.
Sure.
assistance.
that's an action item.
Okay.
What page is that?
It's on page 50 of 100, they suggest it came from a source ESRI, which,
Yeah.
going to the website, it's,
I've
That's
heard of it.
common social expenses.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm sure they can send us the data set, but I'm wondering if it's a typo.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah.
Because the poverty,
It's still in the plan.
yeah, poverty picture is like 2.8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Yeah, and I did just see something, and maybe somebody had sent it to me, that there is, Pittsburgh Village made the list of like top 100 financially savvy community, so we have some.
Yeah.
Pretty good,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you for that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all set with DPW. Next up, treasurer's report, please.
Oh, sure. Okay, you have the bill pay. Don't recall there being anything significant. It's a very small bill pay at that. Only 11,000 for us, so it's hard to think there's anything in there too concerning. So is there any questions from the board on any of the items?
No, but I'll make a motion to approve the bill pay for example.
Second.
2 seconds.
Give it to them.
Oh, Lily gets this one.
Oh, you guys are quick tonight. All right, trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
trustee Lightgev,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Marshall, Mayor Plummer. Motion passes. Okay, and as was discussed with the board, the village looking at IT service quotes. We have recommendations. Is there any question from the board or do they need anything? I know, Justin, you've been in contact and working with Alexandria, mostly Alexandria on this since I've been tied up. Do you agree with our suggestion to move forward with the one company?
Yeah, everything looks fine to me so far. I had some concerns about some of the numbers. It turns out that's the quote that you're not favoring anyway, so.
Yeah, no,
I think that all seems to line up. And I understand the email solution is a cloud email solution.
Yes.
As well, so. Eventually that'll help take care of some of the issues with email not going through at this point, so.
correct.
I'm not sure if it will in the initial iteration or later, but I think that it's all moving in the right direction.
Yeah, it is part of the transfer. And additionally, part of the transfer as we roll out, we'll be going with the website via .gov. I think that's part of the state law now.
Yeah, just to hit the pause button on that, right now, we're villageofpittsburgh.com. And there are many other municipalities that are that as well, or .org. It's a state law that just has been going into effect that any government or entity has to use the .gov. So we'll be transitioning over to that, just to kind of give everybody a heads up.
Yep,
Yeah, we also are implementing a new website, hopefully within the next 6 to 8 weeks. And so we'll start to be seeing that on the website as well.
yeah. So the .gov will initiate with the website first. We're hoping to switch all village emails actually to change to a .gov. So that's part of that transfer we're working on. So it'll be a little bit tedious at first, but we'll get smoothed out and the look is going to 365, as you said, taking us away from the standard pop mail we have right now, which is problematic.
Would you have an anticipatory date when we're gonna?
This choosing is the first step, so we know the company that we're looking to work with is anxious, so we're hopefully we'll get, once we sign the contracts with them and agree to move,
Yeah.
we'll move it ahead. The one thing I will need from the board, and I think I explained this, we're gonna have to put some money into that line. So I'd actually like to take some money from contingency. We have 2 contingency lines right now, and both are still well-funded. So if I could take 20,000 from one of those lines and move it over just to get this process started.
Get it going.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good thing for us. It really will help increase productivity
yes,
and be streamlined in terms of, our operations here, because we've
Yeah.
been dealing with very, very, very good software.
yep. So the motions I need is to go ahead and move forward with Emergentel for our IT service provider and to transfer the money to cover the cost of the transition.
Those 2 part again.
Yeah, we like those 2 first.
Emergency.
Emergentel,
Yeah.
Emergentel.
I'll make a motion to go ahead with Emergentel for the IT provider.
There's a second. Roll call.
Okay, trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Marshall, trustee Lightgib.
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next motion, please,
No, this was for 20,000 to be transferred.
Yes,
from contingency.
yeah, you can pick either the 50 or I think the other one has like 30. The 50 was in case moving it to another reserve or anything else that popped up.
Mhm.
So I'm good either way.
Yeah, I don't really have a.
I-
Any thoughts on this?
I'm,
You're,
I'd take it from the 30 and we'll save the 50 as well.
from the 30,000, which is from a contingency fund?
Yes.
Yeah, so moved.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall, trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Hi.
trustee Lampier,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you so much, trustee Lightgib, for all your assistance with this. We really appreciate it. I know
I think
Alexandra,
the staff did good research on this and.
no, there was a lot of good work that was put into getting this done. It's a long time coming. I have one other thing real quick to go over with the board. We're working on the boilerplate for South and Wood. Some comments I received from Caitlin, who's been our contact with GPI, is related to a bonding process for the companies doing the bid and a percentage that, do we want them to put a percentage in? I'm gonna reach out. I talked to Jeff today, and his suggestion is reaching out to Scott, who might know more on what could be recommended. So, in my mind, I'm not quite sure. Jeff thought we'd done it in the past, but we haven't done it since I've been here, so I'm not sure what kind of percentage we'd be looking at. So I'll be asking Scott for his recommendation unless the board has any comments to provide for me for that one. Because I'm not sure on a road project, how much we want to go, like 10, 15% of the project. I'm not sure. It seems like you do want to build something in case,
Yeah,
the contractor walks off, but
yeah, I mean, I think we.
so we're okay with me proceeding with Scott's recommendations, basically.
So,
That's what I was expecting the feedback to be.
yeah.
Okay, great. Then I have my marching orders. Thank you.
What else?
I got nothing, unless anybody has anything for me.
Why don't we quickly do minutes, because we still have 15 minutes before the public hearing.
Sure, let me get there.
I just call one minor typo. It says under number items, trust line here instead of trustee line here.
Oh, okay, we're trusting and fair. We'll fix it.
That's January 14th, right?
Yes.
Okay, just so everybody knows. Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 14th as amended.
roll call.
Okay, trustee Lampier,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Hi.
trustee Marshall, trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Wow, these are cruising. This, I think we're gonna break the record. Yeah. How about member items?
Do with, the meeting that we recently had with, property owners, right, with regards to the environment for tenants. I think it'd be good to talk to tenants as well. So, the idea there being, we have a lot of tenants in the community, right?
Business tenants?
Business tenants.
Oh, business
Okay.
tenants.
So rather-
Okay.
Yeah,
Dave's referring to a roundtable discussion that was held fairly recently with commercial property owners in the village, just to kind of get a read on the business climate here and thoughts on their part, so.
Yeah.
That's just a frame there.
so we had a nice meeting, there's thoughts and comments out of that, and I just wanted to reflect on, the last 2 years that I've been here. In the last 2 years that we've been here, we've done a lot, right? We've done everything from putting together a long-term capital plan to working on a budget, working through short-term rentals. I think the office and the DPW, right, there's a lot that's been done. And I think the next thing to be done is this understanding of efficiencies in business. So it's never not been on the agenda. It's just a matter of time. So just wanted to put that out there.
I like that.
But I do think that we want to spend time with the tenants and businesses that are here, not just the property owners, right? And so I don't know if we want to go about it maybe the same way, put together a list and offer an invite and have people come in, but I think that makes some sense. Thoughts?
I love that idea.
Thank you, good.
Yeah.
We may have to pick different times because they're operating business, so we want to be sensitive to that, you know, just,
We might have to offer it into
yeah,
two installments as well, I think, because we
I
have
think so.
a large number. of-
Yeah, we may
Yeah.
have a, that's right, we may have a lot of.
This series.
Great idea.
And part of that is the following, right, the way our code is written, I guess I'm giving the liberty of time to chat with that. But, you know, the way our code is written, we have a lot of permitted items and a lot of things that are special permits. And understanding the business owner and when they're coming to a property, how that process is perceived, right, or expressed matters, right? So I think understanding that, and then once they're here, what are the opportunities that we may have? It could be things related to parking, things related to DPW, all that sort of thing. So I just wanted to move down that road. I guess that's it. I don't want to accelerate any of the zoning ideas or other things until maybe after that conversation.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
So why don't we maybe have Alexander did the outreach last time, maybe pull some things together.
Yes, I might
Yeah.
suggest though that, we do a little more comprehensive. Maybe we could get the list through. The building department.
Or the
Only
chamber
just go by
of commerce.
addresses, rather than try to think of individuals.
The chamber.
What about the Chamber of Commerce? Does they have a list of all the businesses?
Well,
They have a
if they
directory.
have them of all, because there
They
are
do.
some that are not a part of.
Exactly, but they have every business.
Okay.
You know, that's
Okay.
perfect, yeah.
Let's
So
use some
I think
Just
resources.
to have some for their list.
let's start there first. It might be
Rather
easier
than try to
reinvent
remember.
everything. Yeah.
For,
Mhm.
May I ask,
okay. A lot.
yeah, it is. When are you looking to do this? Is this something you're looking to do in the next month, next 2 months? What kind of time frame are you giving us to pull this?
Great question. I tend to think this is a post-budget item,
I agree.
right?
Oh, thank you.
I, yeah, I agree. We don't need one more meeting.
Keep moving parts
Yeah,
here.
I also think that if we get 3 members of the board and we get 6 to 10 members of the business community, then we're good, that's a date. And then if we have more interest and other people on different dates, great, that's a date, right? Because again, to you guys' comment, there's a lot more business owners perhaps than there are
This is time.
owners, right?
Yep.
This just brings me to the final point. And this is to the community as part of the follow-up to the business and tenant conversation that we have. While there's certainly things that we can work through. Every, at least what I can recall at this time, the vast majority, if not all, of the current empty prior restaurants, retails, or storefronts have had approved applications by this board or others for a while now, right? I don't think there's many that aren't permitted. So I'm just thinking about like Rachel's or the one that, the new Asian restaurant, there's a new bar coming in where Blaze used to be. I've heard there's some activity down at the old wine bar. So it's just good to know that what we see is actually in motion and in process.
Mhm.
So good news.
Mhm.
More conversations.
Yeah, thanks for that. Bringing that to the awareness.
Anything? Lisa, do you have any other
I don't
items?
think so.
Yeah. Lily, anything? Any other?
No,
other
I'm,
items?
I'm very anxious
Yep.
to have another workshop.
Yeah.
We got good input from the last,
Mhm.
and we have several action items from that,
Mhm.
from the input we received, so this is all good thing. I would like to see it happen on an annual basis, actually. To set it up, and so they can plan a little bit ahead of what's gonna happen.
That sounds
Think
great,
that's-
yeah. Excellent. Justin, anything, any other item?
No, nothing for me.
We could do a quick recess then for people.
Why don't we do that? And give
Yeah.
everybody a moment.
We've covered all the agenda items right now. We're just gonna have a recess until 6 PM when we can start our public hearing. I make a motion that we recess until 6 o'clock.
I second.
Roll call.
Trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Coe,
Aye.
trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Seventh inning stretch.
I'm not really stressed.
Take a good call.
Okay, we're good to go.
I make a motion, we open a hearing.
Oh, no, let's return to
Well,
session,
return
please.
to, yeah, return to meeting.
I
Sorry,
second.
all right.
Okay, trustee Lampier,
Aye.
trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye.
motion
See you.
passes. Hopefully, we're good.
Okay. You have captions, we have everything else.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so our next item on the agenda is the public hearing about the Village Refuse District assessment. Just some background, the bulletin was sent out, there's also a bulletin in the hall, if anybody wants to pick that up, just kind of giving you additional background on the refuse district. I would just like to give you a little bit of sort of background here. This particular item has come before the public 34 times. Starting with resident comments in August of 21. And then came back to the board in 2022 and sort of we're here today. Over the course of all of these past couple of years, we've had numerous discussions in public about what it would look like to have a village-wide refuse district. Why we would be pursuing it. We obviously, I think everybody knows there's all different days in our village right now where different companies are coming through with their trucks. This would be a way, obviously, to consolidate the service, one day, village-wide, with one hauler. It would be less wear and tear, obviously, on our infrastructure in the village. It also would reduce noise over periods of days, reduce traffic blockage, and just would streamline the process. So that was one aspect of it. Many of you know that the town of Pittsburgh has been implementing their districts. Their process is a little bit different from villages, but I think they're up to over 48 different districts within the town now for refuse haulers. And they've had great success. So we've looked at their model and what they've done, and we brought this back into our community. But over the last couple of years, we did have a survey that did go out by email. And that was last fall. I think it was in last either September or October. And Dorothy, do you have results of just so everybody kind of gets an overview of, you know, how this is unfolded here?
We had 23.81% were no, 76.19% were yes.
Okay, so roughly 3/4 of the respondents wanted to have a village-wide refuse district based on the survey. Numerous bulletins also have been sent out, just updating people on where we were with this process. I think we've had at least 5 different bulletins go out, also postings on Facebook, and also on our website. We also had what we call coffee and conversation. We have them periodically at Village Hall. They're on Saturday mornings where residents can just come in for an hour or so and talk about current topics in the village, and this was one of them. And we received comments also at that time. So the board authorized a bid to go out. There were 2 occasions where we did. One was, I believe it was last February, a year ago.
Mhm.
And the time frame is pretty tight for a lot of vendors to bid, to get the response, and they have it put on the tax bill for this coming year as a fee. So we didn't get a lot of responses, so we waited. Now here we are back again. The bid was put out this past fall. And we accepted a bid and it was awarded to Sayrek Disposal, and I understand we have a representative here this evening from the company to help us out with this. So let's see, then we had a public hearing to adopt the district, I should say, in May of last year. Now we have the district adopted. It has already been established as a single village-wide district. We have a hauler that has been selected. We have to set up essentially a refuse district department, is kind of a way to describe it, or just create something to receive, to capture the funds,
Right, it would be a refuse district fund,
fund.
similar to the sewer fund and your
Mhm.
general fund.
Mhm. So, this is where we are now. Our staff, thank you, they've done research and, looked at how to establish, a single one-time fee, that would go on everyone's tax bill. Our tax bills come out, in June. Our fiscal year begins June 1st. So this again is where we are. This is a public hearing to discuss specifically what is known as an assessment, or essentially just the apportionment of the cost back to each household. Again, the district has already been established. This is a hearing that is specific for the apportionment to go on the tax bill under New York state law. Anything else that we should add to this?
No, I think you covered it.
I do want to speak also to the inserts that went out into everyone's sewer bill. There was an error. The numbers of gallons for the refuse tote and the refuse and the recycling tote had been mistakenly reversed. So the way the contract work has been awarded, you have right now a 64 gallon recycling tote and a 96 gallon refuse tote. And totes are, correct me if I'm wrong, they're the tall ones. They have the wheels with a handle and a lid. They're not the, open blue recycle boxes or bins. So tote, I believe, is the word that the industry uses to describe.
Correct.
Okay, just so.
That's just basically what you're currently using.
Yeah, it's pretty much what everybody's currently using, regardless of your hauler at this point. So anyway, I just wanted to give a little bit of background. Is there anything that the board would like to add at this point before we open the hearing? No? Okay. Is there a motion to open the hearing?
I make a motion to open the hearing for the refuse district
Assessment.
assessment.
I'll second.
Okay, trustee Cove,
Aye.
trustee Marshall, trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
trustee Lampier,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, so could you state your name, please, for the record for us, sir?
My name is Frank Parisi, and I'm with Sea Rent Disposal.
Okay, so he can help us along if there's any
Yeah.
very specific questions maybe that we can't answer. As people come up and speak to the board. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Yes. Yeah, please come up and address the board, name and address.
So, David Wilkes, 19 East Jefferson Road. So I have two quick questions. First would probably be for you. If I'm an existing customer with CREF and I did, we have options of paying, I guess, monthly or quarterly or whatever. I've already prepaid for the entire year. What happens to my, and this was in December, will I be prorated in terms of, or will there be a refund of any sense?
Effective the date that they initiate service with the village, okay, which I believe you're looking at a target date of June 1st, correct? So anything that you pay up into after June 1st forward, simply contact the office and they will refund you the balance of what you pay.
Okay, perfect. So they'll be able to give me some sort of check.
Yeah, no problem, either however you pay for it, whether it's a credit card. Excuse me, we'll credit the credit cards, they can pay in cash, or we'll send you a check of some sort, however you pay, whatever the method of payment was, we'll reimburse you that same.
Okay, perfect. And then the second question, I don't know if this is for you or for the board, but is the idea that the entire village will be able to be serviced in one day? Or will it, because you now have more, houses, will it be over 2 days, will it?
Great question. We're gonna shoot for one day, but I don't know until we actually put all the residents into our system, and this house gonna break off, but we will keep you notified, we'll notify you exactly by address what day your service will be.
So in other words, the village could even be sort of divided in half, and maybe on a Tuesday, there's a pickup on the one half, and on a Wednesday, or whatever, you know, the next half.
We'll let you know
Yeah.
what day exactly, it'll be one day, but we'll let you know exactly what day it is, depending on where you live.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay,
That's okay.
That'd be nice.
of course you can, name and
My
address.
name is Mario Bossel, 15 Greenhill Lane. I'm here on behalf of my parents, Henry and Inga Bossel, that have been residents there since 1968. We have never used a refuse service. And we don't wish to use any refuse service. We handle our refuse ourselves. We do the recycling ourselves. We compost whatever food fall off there is. And we take it out to Alco out in Macedon. We do this about once every month and a half, and it costs us like in the neighborhood of $2.50. To us, it makes absolutely no sense to use any kind of refuse pickup. We don't generate that much. What we generate, we handle ourselves. So for us, we're looking for a waiver from this type of service because it makes no sense to us. My parents and I am retired as well. We're on a limited budget, as you can imagine, and this is a big chunk of change for us.
Okay,
You know,
appreciate.
Add that all together, what, $2
Mhm.
$22.50 a year that we pay for refuse.
We can connect with you offline, you know, appreciate you bringing it to our attention.
All right,
Okay.
great, thank you.
Okay, we have the information, okay. Just so the clerk has your information.
And how can I follow up?
Yeah, if you can give the clerk, we'll follow up with you. You have his name?
I have his name.
Okay, so we're good. Okay,
Thanks.
we'll reach out. Thank you so much.
You done here then?
Anytime.
Okay, thank
We
you.
won't hold you captive.
Thanks, Mario.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else wishing to speak on this matter? Yeah, please come up.
Tom Kircher, I'm reside at 32 Boughton Avenue. And I own two houses, they're 2 doors down from each other. And I've had I've owned both houses for 20 years or more. I've just had garbage service at one of the houses. It's all that I require, so it's a tenant occupied house where they have garbage and I take the garbage over there weekly, so I don't require garbage for 2 properties, so I pay for the one property. And in the event that I would need, I don't need the service at the second property, so my costs would increase and I wouldn't even want containers there. I wouldn't even need it, so that's my request.
Okay, so you have his information, so we can follow up offline.
Yep.
Yep.
And I have, no.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, Lily,
I have a question.
Thank
I want to
thank you very much.
Yep.
ask a question. Is there an opportunity for a resident to opt out of the program? I mean, we're
It's a
hearing.
village question, not a secret.
Okay.
It's a village question, not a secret.
So we
It's-
could,
it's-
as a board,
And the answer is no.
determine
Right.
that.
The answer is no.
Right now, the answer is no. So what we're
the
doing
answer
is
is no.
taking this information.
If you're gonna have a district, then the answer is no.
Yeah, it's a formal district, so.
So why are we taking names?
I wanna
and saying,
follow up.
oh, yeah, but if
It's
the
to
answer is
follow
no, why don't we just say it's no?
I wanna follow up. Yeah. They know it's a district, everybody knows. it's a
Well, I know,
district.
but we just told them that, I don't know, I guess I would just rather be direct. If the answer is no, then we should say it's no, rather than we'll follow up and say it's no.
They received all the information and they know what it is, but why would we, I just wanna follow up. These are people who have different concerns. I don't think that's a bad thing.
The answer is the same based
Mhm.
on the laws that are in place and the contracts we've negotiated, so I would just rather be transparent and get the answer to everybody.
We've
Even
been
if it's one they don't like.
transparent. I can't tell you how many times this is appearing, we're taking information from people who have concerns. That's all. Who else would like to speak on this matter? Yeah, please come up.
Jean Powers, 8 Sutherland. I'm a new resident, so I just wanted to compliment the village board and the trustees for bringing this forward. Where I came from, we had the trash district and I thought it worked very well. It's a really great example of how local government can work for the community. I mean, I think this will save me about $10 a month, so it's financially in my favor to do it. And I do think it makes a lot of sense for both, you know, efficiency on the hauler part as well as, you know, the residents all doing it on one day or at least in sections or whatever. My, comments revolve around the bin size. I know that you've already bid this and you have a standard, or I guess there's an industry standard of this 96-gallon tote bins. But I'd like to see maybe even in the future an option to have a smaller bin. I think that these giant bins are a sad testament to our society, that we think 96 gallons is the standard amount of waste that each household's gonna put up. But, I mean, they're hard to move, they take up a lot of space in my antique garage. They're ridiculous to get to the curbside, they don't fit on the edge of the curb, I've got a sloped edge. It's like literally insane dealing with these things. It's like up to here on my chest. If I accidentally drop something else in there, I can't get it back. It's like gone forever. I mean, I put my 2 little measly bags in there and then I have to haul this sucker down to the side of the curb. So I'd like to encourage, at least in the future, maybe we consider an option for a smaller bin. I don't even think it has to be a less of a cost. I'm okay if it isn't. I just don't like the bins, because I never had a bin this big. I mean, where I came from, I used my 32-gallon thing, never had a problem. I guess I'd also like you to consider from the aspect of the senior community, where I was living before. I was delivering Meals on Wheels, and I was there on trash day, and they just had one of these new contracts go up. They got their 96-gallon toters. These seniors were beside themselves. I mean, I had to help them with the toter. They worry about it all the time. They would have their little measly bag of garbage in it. And they were like, oh, can you help me get the bin back from the street? And then they worry about getting it out, getting it back. This is what some people do, especially when they're, you know, disabled. They're getting Meals on Wheels, which means that they're not likely to deal with their trash bin. So I guess that's my plea. Can we have maybe an option for a smaller bin? Even if it's not now, but in the future, because I think it's insanity.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, if you'd like to speak to that, Mr. Priest.
Yeah, no problem. We can offer you a 35-gallon tote in exchange for the 96.
Okay.
All you have to do is call the office once we set this up and we'll swap it out for you.
That's great.
Small victories town. So just for the record then, if somebody wants to do that, they would just give SAREC a call.
Correct.
We can't process that.
That's correct.
Okay,
But
just
we
if
can-
everybody hears that.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
It's nice.
That's really good. Anyone else wishing to speak on the matter? Yeah, come on up, Dustin.
Maintain Dalton Avenue. I'm concerned with the, lack of information that's gone out to the public on this, and lack of clarity going on. So it says, as people brought up, there's different options available. These haven't been clarified as to what options there are, prices, things like surcharges, if fuel goes up. I don't know the details of this. So the bid from the state rec was never published. I did a FOIL request to request it, and I have not been able to see it yet. I still have some of these details. But the bids were not in your meeting packet when you discussed them. So I think some of this information would be helpful for the public, so we can look into the details and so on of this and understand it a little bit better. Otherwise, the standard offering sounds reasonable to me. And it is a substantial cost saving, for me, it'll drop my cost almost in half. So that's a good thing, but again, I'm just concerned with what some of the other details are of this and any surprise surcharges that we talk about.
Thank you for your comments, and actually I'd like the clerk to speak to, I think maybe a little bit of some misinformation that you've had in terms
Yep.
of the bid process under law that we.
Yep,
go
we
through.
received 4 bids. It was noted with the board. They reviewed the bid specs. They approved the bid specs. We brought back the results. There was a spreadsheet that was done on all the bids received. No, I did not include the actual bids in the packet because, you know, packet's big enough
The
and
bottom line information
The
of what's relevant.
bids were brought to the meeting if the board had any questions, and honestly, you filed your FOIL at 3 o'clock today.
And also, all the bids and the bidding process is publicly noticed.
The price you are getting on your tax bill is all you're getting.
That's it.
That's it. That's the point of bidding. One price, that's it. It's not changing for 2 years. So
And so,
if we move forward, that's the price you're getting.
right, and so, if I can understand, Mr. Parisi, if you could speak, if people, you know, like they want to switch out a tow to a smaller tow. If they need an additional kind of service, then there would be a charge that they would call the office directly, if they'd like to speak to
Yeah,
that.
so. You're allowed, the offer is for 96 gallon trash, so and if people want recycle. If you want a smaller recycle tote, simply call the office and make arrangements with the office will take your information. And time of delivery will deliver you a smaller recycle tote, okay? Included in the price is up to 5 additional household trash bags, your white garbage bags, okay, that's included, or 3 of the contractor bags. That's all included in that price, okay? Anything out of that, anything out of that scope will be an additional price. So we have an offering for house collection, like garage, come up to your house.
Mhm.
That's $5 a month. That's all payable upfront at the office. You call the office to make arrangements for that. There's an option to, some people like a bigger recycle tote from a 64 to a 96. There's an option to upgrade that, okay? But you have to call the office and make arrangements for that. I believe that's $66 for the year, okay? Tires, you got a great deal on the bed. If you have a tire that needs to be thrown out, you have to call the office. There's a charge of $5 for the removal of the tires. You have 3, call the office, let them know how many, and make a separate pickup. Okay? What's not included, okay? A mattress, furniture, a couch, okay? Our mattress prices range from $10 to $20 depending on the size of the mattress. All the costs are extremely reasonable. There was another hauler that charges what we do for bulk, okay?
Thank you, and you know what I'm thinking, if we can consolidate all of that in a list, if you could work with the clerk. And then we can distribute that, because that's good information in addition to what the basic service is. Yeah.
Not
go
to-
ahead.
Other than that, it's pretty simple. What you're currently doing now with your current vendor, we do the same thing, okay? I think the biggest difference is that you're gonna notice, not because everyone does the company, but we provide excellent service. So if you have any questions or anything, call the office, you can call me directly. Be more than happy to answer any questions or concerns.
One thing also, and I know Dorothea wants to chime in, I noticed that the town, because they, I think, use you quite a bit with the refuse districts, they have their own webpage on your website.
Yes, I don't know if we're gonna, we can do that.
Okay, because that might be helpful, you know, if you to just click on the website, it's just to have information, for village residents too. Just
Yeah.
thinking about that. Yeah, Lily, 1 second, because I know Dorothea had.
Real quick,
Well-
not to correct you, but you did bid $60 per ton for bulk pickup. So,
I did?
yeah,
I think that's what it says in the bid.
Yep.
But per ton.
per
but
ton.
Per item.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, just to
You're
make
not
sure.
gonna give me 2,000 pounds for a mattress.
No, I'm not. I just want to make sure, you know, we did look at the bulk
Yeah,
along with the,
Okay.
just to
okay.
be clear.
So we're gonna consolidate all that information and make sure it's available. Yeah, Lily.
I have a question, and I do apologize to the clerk at a time, December 10th, I wasn't at that meeting. So
Yep.
that's why I didn't have that information.
No problem.
I'm sorry,
That's
I had
why I sent it to you.
On what is the assessment based? And why would the town be paying on average less than the village is paying? 256 on average for the town districts and 394 for the village. Why would?
349.
Where's that, why is that so
Mhm.
different? Why wouldn't we be 256 like the town?
you're asking me that question,
I'm
right?
just putting that
Well,
out.
you
because
So
have-
I can
I'm-
answer you from a bid perspective, okay, we've been doing it for the town, I think we're going into our 5th year now, okay? And we had you know, the cost, everyone knows, the cost of everything is gone up. What drives our pricing is that obviously labor, fuel, and dumping fees, okay? We take our trash to a transfer station that 5 years ago charged us, you know, I'll be honest, you can call, charged us $50 a ton. Now we're up to $100 a ton for trash. So that's what drives the price, but we maintain that price with the town because of the relationship and the amount of
Districts?
business or districts that they have. We have several thousand with the town currently. So
Yeah, the town is,
I mean, that's just not me, that's every hauler has those expenses.
so it's economies of scale basically, because. the
And for us,
town's
it's efficient.
30,000.
I mean,
Okay.
it's efficient because you're going from house to house to house, you're not
Mhm.
skipping, so.
Okay. Thank you for that.
But the
Yeah,
costs have gone, I mean, everything, okay, so.
okay. And Dorothea, you want?
And we're still, I'm sorry, I have to defend- I want to defend it. We're still probably 30 or 40% less than what you would pay. I mean, there was a gentleman here that said, you know, he's saving almost, you know, half of what he's currently paying for his refuse, for his garbage pickup, so. It's a phenomenal price, it really is.
Thank you. Yeah, Dorothea, you had.
Just that the price is $3.49. I think Trustee Lampier misspoke and said $3.94.
No, I'm sorry, I transposed.
I didn't want to scare anybody.
Oh, no,
Okay,
$3.49
I'm so sorry.
and 14 cents.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget the 14 cents.
Okay, anyone else wishing to speak? Yes. Come up, please. Hi, John. Name and-
I'm at 62 State Street, and I'm just curious if this contract also includes the commercial businesses in town, will they be under the same contract?
No, it's just residential.
Residents,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you. Yes. Anyone else wishing to speak on the matter? Yeah, please come up. Hi. Welcome. Name and address, please.
Joseph Tang, I'm at 514 Circle. So it's just kind of following up on the last part about like, you know, like if you wanted a bigger tote, there's like a surcharge for it in some way. And so the two questions I had for that is like, can I call you like right now? Or is it like call you in June? And the other question is, like, and that surcharge, you know, like for $66 per year, is that something that like that we just do with you, like with Cyrex, or is that something that gets shown up on the village tax?
So you mind? if I-
Oh, please, no, you're on a roll.
Any additional charges other than what your standard are will be, you go through us.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want a larger tote than 96 gallon.
Yeah.
Once this is approved, because it hasn't been finalized yet,
Oh, I see.
okay, you can contact us as we get closer to the kickoff date
Hmm.
and make arrangements.
Okay, so
Right.
don't call you tomorrow.
Okay, you're not calling me tomorrow,
Okay, sounds good.
but call me anytime. Now you call me tomorrow. Don't worry.
Thank you, Jeff. Anyone else wishing to comment? Yeah. Come on up. Hi, Jeff.
My name is Jeffrey Mason, and I simply don't put anything in front of my house ever of any kind. I have no need for any kind of pickup ever of anything. And so I wonder if I could just not have the pickup.
The answer is no, because we have a village-wide district.
So I pay anyway, even though I'll never use it.
This is where we are, because the majority of the residents.
I don't even have leaf pickup. Nothing is ever put in front of my house ever.
I understand.
Because I don't like stuff out there. It looks bad.
I don't have leaf pickup either.
I have nothing.
I can't.
I take everything myself. There's no such thing as nothing else.
That's impressive.
No,
Yeah.
that's right, no such thing. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
But I can refuse it anyway, right?
When you say refuse, what does that mean?
Well, just don't get the totes and
Yeah.
and just do what I'm doing.
Oh, he doesn't need to get the
Be
totes.
charged
Sure,
anyway.
absolutely.
Okay,
You can either let, you know,
yeah,
Dorothea know or the town or let us know. We'll
you can let us know.
probably-
I
You can let
would,
us-
yeah, I
we'll
would
take
let,
care of it.
I would
But-
let me
but
know.
Mr. Mason, just so you know, you will be charged on your tax bill still, even though you're
Right,
not using it.
even so, I have to accept the totes, I can't.
No.
No,
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
well, we're gonna take care of it on our end for you,
I see,
okay? No tote,
no totes.
no tote.
I take care of myself anyway, I've never put anything in front of my house of any kind ever.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah. Georgia.
I would just request, Mr. Mason, I would just request if you decline service with the village, even though you're gonna get paying for it, to put it in writing to the
Yeah.
clerk.
Follow up.
That way we have it,
It is in your-
okay?
Yeah, we'll follow up when we see him.
Thank you for responding to that, Mayor.
Yeah, you got. Yep. Yep. Anyone else wishing to speak up? Come on.
Just a couple things. I've heard from a number of seniors that are concerned about the size of the totes, so I'm glad to hear that there's flexibility in that. I also think because we haven't had communication on all of the, conditions and options, then I think it would behoove the village to send out a comprehensive mail to all residents to, explain all the options that are available.
Yeah, we just mentioned that. Yep.
So I want to underscore that.
Mhm.
My second concern is somebody that, a single person, I don't generate a lot of trash, I don't use the service right now. I am concerned about the cost. And because there is such a significant difference from the town. And I don't buy the economy of scale argument because the company is providing service to a dense location within the service area where they already serve thousands of residents in the town. It just seems like there's a huge difference between what the town, will the town eventually be paying the same amount as the village? Or are we gonna continue to pay a premium for the same service they pay essentially $100?
Well, you negotiated a two-year, contract, sorry, lost the words. I believe that with the town, or the village, you're the village, sorry, they're the town. I believe that they're up for renewal next year, and I can't answer what, what we're gonna bid at, and, obviously. We do several thousand residents with the town, and the village is, at 550 something, so,
I understand that, but
I don't
just
know.
adding a few more that you service in the same geographic area, so.
I think that's why we were able to give you the price that we gave you. I mean, I negotiated both contracts, and I can tell you that costs have risen, anyone knows it, so.
So what that cost for the town right now is still the remainder of what was negotiated
That's correct,
before cost increase. In other words, it's still part of a
They have-
flat rate contract.
correct.
It's now coming back up next year.
You don't have an
For
increase in
rebate.
yours, they have an annual increase in theirs.
Okay, just so. we
So
understand.
theirs will be adjusted at the end of the year.
I believe theirs is up in the summer, I think it's June or July, they're gonna get an adjustment also. I'm not sure the dates, but I can certainly supply it for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for your comments. Anyone else wishing to speak? Yes? Come on up. Name and address, please.
Adam Robinson, I'll ask you 59 Rand.
I'm sorry, the last,
We couldn't hear you. Someone was talking.
last name,
Robinson, Alhassan, Adam Robinson, Alhassan, 59 Rand Place. So I guess two things, right? One is the learning. I'm not quite sure what state this is in, right? Is it up for vote still? I mean, I'm kind of hearing like the conversation be like, hey, well, people have voted on a survey, but how official is that? Is this something that still needs to come up to a vote that we need to say yes or no on?
There will be a vote tonight on the rate that will be added to your tax bill. And that rate is $349.14.
49 and 14 cents.
One time that goes on your tax bill. It's the apportionment over the entire district. That's the only thing we're voting on tonight.
There's already a yes.
We already have a district established. We already have essentially the mechanism for the fund established. And now, based on New York State law, we're holding a public hearing to hear from the public about the $349.14 fee that will be on your tax bill once every year in June.
Okay.
That's all we're doing. People are speaking to additional things, but
Sure.
it's, that's fine.
Exactly.
We're glad you're here.
I may ask for clarification to what you said. Are you asking if the concept should have gone to referendum for the entire village to vote on whether they would want a refuse district or not?
Well, that's what I was asking if.
That's what I'm asking, I'm saying, is that your question?
That was more my question. not
Oh,
familiar
I'm
with the
sorry.
process.
Yes.
No, no,
Whether
whether
it's
it's
worth it.
but I
Oh,
wasn't
that's
familiar with the process of,
Mhm.
yes, we're gonna have this or not, so. that-
So the vote happens at the board, just the vote, the board will vote, not the
No
residents.
referendum.
Got it,
Yeah.
okay. And I guess to your point, Melissa, that, you know, if we're gonna pay for it, right, I would, I'm paying for it privately. And certainly economies of scale, right, I switched to you guys, years ago, I'm very happy with the service in my experience. When I moved to the village probably about 5 years ago, I kind of expected that trash was gonna be already part of the tax versus adding this great new service with great new cost on top of the tax we're already paying. I get it, I'm already now paying it privately, so now it's coming into the tax, which I guess is a good thing, but I would make a comment that, you know, I kind of thought that part of the services of paying for additional village taxes would include refuge, but just a comment. And then the other side, I would be, I've had good experience with, you know, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your comments. Anyone else? Yes, come on up.
Sarah, Bobby Steve Terrace. I just have a quick logistic question. Will the bins that we already have be taken away when you deliver the new ones?
Are they our bins or are they our competitors?
They're competitors.
You have to call them.
That, okay.
We don't touch anybody else's equipment, so you're gonna have to contact your current hauler and tell them that effective such and such a date. They need to remove their tubs.
And they come
They're
get them.
canceled service, so.
That might be something that we could let people know.
Yeah, no, we're gonna put up, in other words, like writing down,
Okay, great.
got a list, folks.
Sarah, Sarah, and our intention was, if you're gonna, all residents will get notification from the village clerk as to the process. And when you have to do that, so all that will be written down and sent to all residents, so you have an idea what you need to do.
Okay, thank you.
This is, you know, essentially, for lack of a better word, early days, you know, because June's out there, hopefully the snow will melt by now.
Logistics.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, but all of this is good stuff, we're capturing it, and all of this information will be going back out to residents. Yeah. Oh, you already spoke, hang on one second, we'll give you 1 minute, just if anybody else has a comment, and then we'll circle back.
I have online.
Yeah, come on in.
Hi,
Name and address, please.
Katie Oram, 54 Sutherland Street. Hi, guys.
Hi,
Sorry, like raced over, was listening to the meeting from my phone, but cannot comment. Left a crying baby, perhaps. I am very much in favor, and my 2 other kids. My husband's fine. I'm very much in favor of a refuse district, although for us, to be honest, like the price is pretty much the same as what we pay right now. I think that like there's probably environmental benefit in the long run and that, doing this like as a group, there's, you know, financial benefit in the long run, for us. I'm also a really big fan of having fewer trucks driving on every single day, perhaps on all of our village streets. And I feel like this is a really cool way for us to be able to sort of operationalize some of those benefits for village residents. I'm also psyched about weekly recycling. And my husband is too, because right now he screws it up about half the time. So we have a lot of cardboard.
Me too.
3 kids. Amazon's coming every day to my house right now and weekly recycling, I'm hyped.
Thank you, thanks, Katie.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Katie, I just want to make a statement. Katie actually was very influential in bringing this to the attention of myself and the board way back, almost 2 years ago. And worked diligently with us to get this moving. So thank you for voicing that. And that's, you know, the beauty of being in a small village is that, you know, we hear, we listen, and we can do some great stuff. So thank you.
Yep, and a total journey, so.
Thanks, Katie.
It always is. Okay, anyone else wishing to speak? Steve, I'm gonna ask you to hold off. We're gonna hear from, we're gonna take comments online and then circle.
Okay, I have question and answer questions, so.
Oh,
First-
this is Q&A.
Q&A.
Okay.
Art and Pierce, 70 State Street, follow up on earlier comment and question by the village resident. Believe there should be a public discussion regarding how individual property owners prefer to opt out for various reasons. Okay. Then I have a Christie, she failed to provide any of the other information. Very good question, please. Some clarification if some, no one or all can opt out.
I think we addressed that,
Yes.
but, okay.
Then Art again questioned, and this will be for Frank, what are the 96 gallon dimensions? Will they fit through a standard garage man door?
It's basically what they're currently using now, there's no difference in size from a regular garbage tow. And I didn't hear the latter part.
Will they fit through a standard garage man door?
Man door?
Regular door.
Oh, just a regular door.
Oh.
I don't see it.
Okay. I'm just saying what's here. We have Margaret Caraberis, 81 South Main Street. How many responded to the survey? The survey had a total response of 84 people.
And hundreds were sent out.
Yes, it went to over 600 people
Yeah.
on our constant contact. Which reminds me, if you're not signed up for newsletters, information, please do go to the website, sign up. We're changed the way we do it, but it is the gathering of the information. So still go to the website or call the office.
Yeah, for updates.
Yep. Christy, how will the following follow-up information? I only received the USP letter last month. That was the first requirement for the district that I had to notify all homeowners of the assessment. I know Frank, you send out a letter to the district afterwards.
Yeah.
Once we get everything finalized, if the board wishes, another piece of information can come out from the village as well.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. It's a process, we're transitioning, so.
Okay, did that one. We have art again. Believe there should be a clause that at the time the town contract is considered that the village rate would be adjusted accordingly, as that would add to the contractor's economy of scale consideration and the fact the village is located in the town, part of the town. Let's see, Christy, she provided me her address, McMorrow 77 North Main Street. And I think I am done.
Okay,
If I missed you, please raise your hand and let me know, but I think I got everybody.
okay, we're sort of, I think, looks like we're winding things down. There was a couple hands up. Yeah,
Yeah, I just had a discussion later, which is that it was like apparently for 2 years, and so I was just kind of curious, like, what happens after 2 years, or is it just, is this like a 2-year, like, trial run to see what happens, and then we'll like, or?
no, we have a district. It's
Yeah.
been adopted by the board, by this community, and so it will go out to bid. It'll be another bid.
Oh, in 2 years?
Mhm.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So we'd have to vote to accept that bid.
Yep.
Okay.
So it is this process.
Got it.
Yeah.
Come back to the end of my contract.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, what's that?
I also have one
Yeah.
received email.
Okay.
comment.
Yeah, I know a lot of that has been answered, but if you wanted to.
It was requested
Yeah.
to be.
Yep.
Okay, did you want me to go or you?
Sorry, yeah, one last quick point.
Weeks ago, 18,000 again. One thing I wanted to add is, I did call Sayrec asking about options, and they're not able to tell me anything. Just so, but hopefully when your communication goes out, that can all get sorted out. The other thing is, I do appreciate that it went to a local company for doing this instead of a giant conglomerate. And I would encourage you to prioritize that in the future in your bids, to support local, businesses.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, and then you had.
Yes, I have Fran Kramer. I'm not sure Fran's address off the top of my head.
How bad? Yeah.
Thank you. One, why have not any surveys about refuse districts been done in the village like the town did for the refuse districts? With SAREC, the town mailed 2 different letters to all residents in their proposed districts, keep tax paying owners of homes informed and asking for their opinions and suggestions. Why is the village cost of SAREC refuse district more than the town? The town's individual property refuse districts cost $256 a year for household owners. The village costs quote $349 per year household owners. What village elected officials have been involved in all of the negotiations with SAREC as to a refuse district? For since the village will have all the refuse payments from the dates we pay village taxes from year to year, same months. How's the village paying Cerex for the year monthly? If so, will they earn interest in the village bank accounts? Maybe you could use that extra money for US mail communications to residents more frequently, something similar. Thanks, Fran. We haven't talked, I assume you'll bill us accordingly.
$3 billion monthly.
Thank you.
So, Bill,
Perfect. Elected officials do not negotiate bids. There is no negotiation process in a bid. Once a bid is received, that is it. We cannot go back to the vendor and say, can you reduce it? Can you do that? We cannot do that legally. Okay, just so you know.
And the bid that goes out, just in terms of process, is approved by the entire board.
Correct.
It's just not throwing out a bid.
Yeah, I can't
You know,
issue a
that
bid
comes back
without board
for
approval.
review. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other additional comments, anything on the line, just, oh, I'm sorry, Steve, you need to.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, because we have an ordinance, and I think it's on the organizational meeting for the days of the week for pickup, and right
Yes.
now it's a free for all.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we tie
Tied to
you
the ordinance.
guys or change our, at the organizational,
Mhm.
or tie him to what is already.
Yeah, thank you.
Times and days of the week.
Yeah, times and days, exactly. So we'll circle back on that.
Yep.
I can bring it back to the board in a minute.
Okay.
You know, because I don't think there's any more comments here. Crickets, okay. I make a motion that we close the public hearing.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Co,
Aye.
trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
trustee Lightgift,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer,
Aye.
motion
Okay.
passes.
Thanks, everybody, for your comments, folks who were here and also online. It's back to the board. Lily, you had
I do.
some
I do.
comments here?
Tied into what Steve pointed out, I am wondering if you feel that you definitely could cover the entire residential district in maximum 2 days. Would it be under any scenario that would it turn into 3? I'm asking Frank.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was out like here. I apologize. What was your question?
My question is there a scenario where you would see that if the district would not be able to be covered, village district, in 2 days? Can you picture a scenario where you might move it to 3 days?
I doubt that very much. I doubt that very much.
And are we pushing to 1 day?
I can't commit to that unless I speak to our dispatcher.
Well, you have to get up and running, I'm thinking, just in
Yeah,
terms of,
we're, I
sorting
think
it.
we're in the village, here, we're in the town.
yeah, so.
You know, depending on the
just
area.
As a district, yeah.
We'll do the best we can to accommodate.
Mhm.
Once we get this all figured out and it's signed, then we can input it into our system and figure out exactly, how we do it now. So I can't commit to a specific date today.
Okay, because part of the discussion as a board, was that it made fewer days that a truck was coming through neighborhoods or, and so if it extends to 3 days and then we still have commercial, I think that has to be picked up, what are we gaining?
Well,
as far as-
we're dividing up into separate areas, right?
Correct, you're not gonna see the same truck. So, good point that you brought this up, and I should have mentioned it earlier, okay? What we do I know you guys are making comparisons to the town, okay? We use in the town a split truck. And this is good to know for everyone, okay? A split truck, basically, it looks like just like a regular garbage truck, but it's split down the middle. One side has recycling, the other side has trash. So you don't have 2 trucks coming through
Okay,
on the same route on a daily basis. Okay, so we will try to, it'll probably more than likely we use a split truck here also, so you only see the 1 truck coming through. Okay, so it's not like, Monday's recycling and Tuesday's trash, they're both collected on the same day,
Oh,
okay?
that's good to know, yeah. Split trucks, who knew?
And as far as, on the specific date, I can't commit to that today, but as we get closer, okay, I can give you a specific date or 2 days, depending on where we're at. Where do we do now? Gentlemen said we pick up now, right, for you guys here?
I can pick up on Monday.
Okay. So,
I think our bigger concern, not so much the day of the week, is to try to get it condensed into as few of the days. as
I don't
possible.
foresee more than 2 days.
And we're hoping for one.
You're kind of condensing
Better
it,
than
so
we have now.
you're
It's a
condensed,
lot
here,
better
so
than
it
we
should
have
not
now.
be. I can't say 100%, but I
Sure.
don't foresee why not.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, 'cause that was that's what was our intention, try to get it done as soon
Yeah.
as possible. Thank
So you
you.
won't see a million trucks coming.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out on
Yes, thank
this
you.
cold night.
No, appreciate it.
Appreciate
We
it.
done?
Yes.
Well,
I mean, you could
I mean, the
say-
hearing's closed, I mean, we're.
I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, we're still here. for
Thank you.
Nice meeting you all.
Everybody's always welcome to stay.
Nice meeting you.
Okay.
Thank you. Nice meeting
Thank you so
you.
much. Thanks for taking the time. You were really helpful.
Good to see you. Thanks for the.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm joking.
I have just one follow-up question, Frank. The bid, the way it was all done, was on a per unit basis, right?
What,
The bid is awarded on a per unit basis.
correct.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
And so to that end, is a unit, just wanna again confirm, a unit is defined as each.
Excuse me one second, please. Point of order, excuse me, sir. Point of order, if you'd like to speak, please speak in the hall.
I
We're
apologize.
still conducting business. Thank you.
I apologize.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
A unit, if there's 3 apartments in a building, a unit is each apartment.
Um,
Is a unit per building.
We looked at that the best we could and we determined the number of units. So if a property had 2 addresses to it, we do 2 units.
So to that end, every residential unit is
1 unit.
taxed or charged the rate. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, Steve, I knew you were looking.
Well, I just wanna say there were a couple of double addresses that only used one. We did and researched that to find out if there was like a double address, they only use one tote, so they will only be charged for one.
Okay, so that, to that end, we've essentially excluded. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going back and looking at our local law to create the district. And this goes back to the no, right, the no on can I be excluded? And it sounds like there's been some internal mechanisms by which we've excluded a unit.
No, we
in the
have,
interest of a property
no, it's by tax ID.
by tax ID. Okay.
Yes, so if
So now-
each tax ID is getting a unit
Okay.
at least. Some tax IDs, depending if it's associated 2 addresses, we added 2 units.
Alright, so the tax ID is the resident or the owner?
The owner,
Okay, so there's some people who only need different units under one tax ID.
it's all one tax ID.
So you only charge it once.
Yes, it's how the tax ID is set up. If there was,
I think this makes sense to me.
Right,
So if I own 5 properties, I'm only getting levied.
no, if you own 5 properties, you have 5 tax IDs.
Oh,
Five.
that's what you're asking. No, there's not one tax ID for multiple, each property has its own.
Tax
discrete-
ID, so each tax ID gets,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
tax ID as in the property's tax ID.
Mhm.
correct.
So are there properties with one tax ID that are going to need multiple totes? Essentially, there's 5
Yes.
residents in a
They
property.
can-
Yes.
They can call in.
Yes, and we had determined as best we can, those properties that might require 2 units, and we did that.
2 units or 2 totes?
Two sets of totes.
So getting.
So they got billed twice.
They're getting billed
Tax twice.
twice.
And how did you make that determination again?
So let's say an address has 2, let's say a tax ID has 2 addresses associated with it. We went and confirmed how many totes and things they had at the address.
Mhm.
So with that determination, then we went 2 units.
But again, just thinking about this contextually, and this is going somewhere else than where this conversation is actually going. But with one tax ID, there's one assessed cost, but in looking at how many totes they had, you're thinking, okay, maybe they need 2. Wouldn't instead that one resident instead be obligated to pay the additional rates separately to SAREC to have more totes rather than being charged a separate tax cost as a separate unit?
We,
I don't know how the charging works, but we contact anyone that we saw with a double. If I could reach out to them, I contacted them and they let me know, no, I have 2 units, but I only have 1 tote. There's others that, yes, we have 2 totes, one for the tenant, one for us. And the ones that we couldn't contact, wouldn't contact us, I physically drove
You-
around and I'd say, oh, they got 2 totes, so. They
Good.
charge for 2 totes.
Excuse me one second, Jeff, was there anything you wanted to add on that? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, because I went back and forth with this as to whether 1 unit per address, tax ID, or if it was associated with 2 addresses to do 2. So we went through and tried to do our best to determine, will we be perfect? I don't
I
think so.
recognize that. Where I'm actually going is, so to that end, there was some discretion in whether or not we're charging a tax ID 1 or 2 or
Correct.
more. But charging each tax ID was a requirement.
Yes.
Based on how the
District
district
is
is
formed.
created or formed. But SAREC is receiving from our new district the cost per unit, or in this case, per tax ID, and if it's a double unit. So that's what we're sending to them, and that's what we're building out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And then if people want any additional totes above and beyond, they just call Sarah.
yeah.
Okay, period, done. Yeah.
The public needs to consider where their base garbage costs. Anything above or more, they need to talk to Sarah.
Yeah, Lily.
Thank you. I need a little bit more clarification information on the opt-out. The opt-out is because, so that the person, and resident does not have the, option to go to another company and have it come into this district? Or is it opt-out?
Because it's a the board formed a district.
Yes,
There are, and the board further decided to apportion the cost of the services provided to the district per household.
Mhm.
And therefore, if
okay,
each household is going to get that bill added to their tax bill. If they were to opt out, they can't because they're in a district. I mean, they just can't because they're in the district. But let's say we said, oh, sure, opt out. That would mean every other person every other residence in the district would go up by cents. Which means we would have to start again.
okay, so in the situation,
Sorry, can I just respond to Jeff's comment real quick? So this goes back to an original question that SAREC was awarded a bid based on a cost per unit.
Mhm.
Right? It wasn't a total. And so this goes back to the question of what we pay SAREC is how many units we tell them we have.
Mhm.
Whether or not we tell them we have 500 units or 499 or 501 because we doubled one up, we're paying them the units times the awarded bid.
Right.
The awarded bid divided by the unit. Oh, no, the payment, yes.
Yes.
We're the way that they responded to the bid is on a per unit basis.
Correct.
And so what they expect to receive is on a per unit basis, which is a variable amount.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes,
Not
that's
once-
the way the bid is.
No, not once the bid is accepted, then it's. A set amount per that number of. Residences.
Per number of residents and per the refuse district map, they had to be formed to show
So
service.
let me pause for a minute. Did SAREC have the map of the district when they replied to the bid?
No, we weren't required to create it until now. We created it. We determined, we gave the information to the assessor. We had Michelle W. helped with the town creating it, GPS, going through, and anything that technically belonged in the district per the local law was put into this map. This map determined the properties involved and the number of units.
The bid though, so again, this is just processing and thinking about some of these residents, right? It's a question that the bid was received without the map and understanding of the total number of units.
Okay, yes, so yes.
And they replied on a bid per unit basis. We are going to give them, yes,
They were given an estimate of the number of,
As were the other haulers.
yes, they all were given an estimate of the number of users.
here's the final how they did it. And so they came back with a per unit per month amount.
Correct.
Right? And at this point, then we created a district.
Mhm.
Did they reply to the bid first, or did we create the district?
You created the district,
Mhm.
You created the district, we went out to bid to make sure the bids were the cost of doing it, because I couldn't get the map made until we had all this done. We
Yep.
did the bid, we
Yep.
got the bid amount. I went to Michelle W., created the map and notified everybody. So we had the solid number.
Yeah, so that process of specifically what's in the map was given to SAREC after, and we're paying them on a per unit
Unit.
basis. And so again, going back to the comment, whether or not it's 500, 500, 152, or 498, we're gonna pay them on the number of units times the rate that they agreed to.
Mhm.
Okay, so this then comes back to the following, which is within the district that we created,
Mhm.
right? Jeff, are you suggesting that there is no flexibility inherent to the municipality in any way, shape, or form of excluding a unit from the district? And if so, can I know why or what New York law prevents that, or is it?
Yeah, that would be a, whatever the, amendment that deals with, unfair, unequal taxation.
No, but you just exclude them, not, they have no service and they have no,
You created the district.
right, but I'm.
You define what the district is.
The guidelines for creating the district include, if I understand, all of the units
Right.
within that district.
But we've created the district. So you're
With,
telling me,
with that,
We define what the district is,
okay, good.
and then we decide to find what the district is.
Mhm.
And then we determine how many actual residential units met the definition. So then we are treating all of those residential units equally by charging them the same amount.
Correct, so we can change the definitions of the district such that if we wanted to, a unit could be excluded.
and then if assessment goes up for all the
No,
other costs.
Because the contract is awarded on a per unit
No,
basis.
but
Oh,
You're gonna create a nightmare, because
Yeah.
what you're gonna do is somebody's gonna opt out, and then they're gonna go, I got it cheaper from Joe Smith.
No, so I'm not saying, so what I'm saying is. If you can create an opt-out, right, no service, right? So the gentleman tonight,
I'm saying there were 3 people that I know of, and maybe
Right.
4 in this village, who get no service.
No service.
And want no service. They haven't paid any money in the past for a service, and now they have to
Right.
pay a service fee so that everyone else in the village can get there's something philosophically wrong about this.
Well, this
So
is
we're
the,
trying to find a
Well,
way.
it's,
We understood.
the philosophy is, if you wanna get philosophical, and I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. Reportedly, everybody in the Stoic state votes for whomever they vote for in their scheme of taxation. I can't opt out of the taxation. You know, even though I don't agree with it.
so I think that's.
I don't use any of those services, I
So-
said.
yeah, let's let Jeff finish this.
Sorry, this isn't a legal opinion.
Hang on, but
This isn't a legal opinion.
understood, but Jeff is just.
No, I appreciate you, Jeff, but this is not a legal opinion.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a legal opinion. Which is, we have created a district that in the review that I've done within New York state law, it allows for districts to exclude units. To create districts slightly differently, so that when we go to the hauler, we can say to the hauler. This is the district, it excludes these 3 properties as a result of no service being
On what
required.
basis are you excluding people from
Yeah.
the district?
That's the law that needs to be written.
No, I'm
No,
asking you,
that's actually the real question.
how would you write the law to exclude those people from the district?
And why should they be excluded relative to someone else
So you-
based on what
What is
criteria?
the descriptive?
When you're
that you
applying the
would
law
use?
equally.
Denial of service,
That's their choice,
I choose to have no service.
that's their choice.
Well, I think another aspect of this is when a district is created, you look at the entirety of what is good for the community and for the majority of the community. And I understand that we have, the unicorns, for lack of a better, people that they just have done it differently. I understand that, but we have created a district with, in good faith, feeling that it's gonna really serve the best interests of the majority in our community. And,
Mayor, if I may,
Go ahead.
this is a community choice. look at healthcare, okay? We all pay health insurance. Some people use it, some people don't, but you're still paying the premium every month. And it's your choice if you decide to go have an X-ray or if you don't, right?
Mhm.
So it's the same concept. It's a community-based program that everybody's gotta donate equally, and you have the choice to use it. If you decide not to use it, you're still having to donate to the community.
So I respect that, and what I'm doing is looking for opportunities within the code that we wrote with regards to the district that we created. And when I look at New York State law, it affords opportunity to offer certain exclusions. And those exclusions could be the simple denial of service. So somebody's driving down the road and they skip number 14. How do they know to skip it? There's no toad out there. Right? Now, I don't think that creates a nightmare. Every 2 years or 3 years, whatever the period of time is, you update the map. And in the moment that we're adopting the assessment, you have somebody, is there anybody who would like to deny service? And then you deny service, and they can then go to their own private venue. And this speaks a little bit to the.
What?
They go to their own private venue, they drive somewhere like the Alco in Macedon, like Tom did, or Mario did.
What if they wanna get a different hauler?
They can't. Not permitted.
But see, I'm wondering, you
No,
know,
no, it's easy
where
to-
does this go?
No, it's easy to prevent somebody from getting a haul, because you can limit any trash or refuse on street side, like aside from the approved vendor. Again, this is,
Well,
There's a-
except for getting garage service.
well, you can prevent garage service too. You can basically easily prevent any additional service besides the service that's approved.
And the policing of that would be.
Pretty easy to see a truck going by, and you can have penalties for offenses, but you're not gonna have anybody do that.
Yeah, excuse me,
There's a practical
Yeah.
issue.
Dorothea.
There you go.
I-
There's a practical issue,
Yeah, there is.
and that would be, if you want to sell, and I'm not convinced it's legal, but even if you want to change the law, you need a public hearing. By the time we have the public hearing, change the law, you're out of business for this fiscal year.
I definitely concur that this argument is possibly a 2 years from now argument, but it's an argument that's worth having before we assess everybody. And let me just put this in broader terms. We have people in this community who are not here half of the year, right? Those folks are paying for a full year of service and are picking up the cost of everybody else's savings, right? Again, I'm not saying I don't agree with it, but what I'm saying is there has to be avenues for opportunity for people to deny or, so for example, if that snowbird comes back and they don't want service for the 4 months that they're here, they're gonna privately move it somewhere, haul it on their own, right? Like Tom did. It gives them an avenue to not pay it. We have a bid awarded on a per unit basis, and we have a law that we created that handicaps us, at least the way I understand the law is currently written, from excluding properties from the district. We can change the district, right now it's defined in a way that we can't for this assessment period. But I consider that,
I'm sorry, Dave, go ahead.
no, please.
I'm just not convinced we can change the district in the way that you think we can change it.
I think we should be able to explore opportunities to exclude denial of service.
Let me ask this.
Just-
Oh, hang on 1 second, because I know Justin's had his hand up,
Um,
and Dorothea. and then-
No, I appreciate the discussion. I mean, everybody knows that I've been on the fence about this, quite a bit over the, discussion. Well, and I think in
Okay, let me, I think we're back up. I'm sorry, we just totally crashed.
Where we are,
Okay, we're back.
is it recording?
That's a good question. Yes, I'm gonna pause it and restart it. Okay,
There, real quickly, was that survey sent out by email or was it mailed?
it was email. It was through our constant contact that at the time the board approved that survey to go out that way.
What was the bid acceptance? What did they say? When they accepted the bid?
It's right here. It was based bid on 1 year or 2 year, pick, cost per unit per month, blah, blah, blah.
That's what they responded.
Yes.
So I just want to go on record that it is very hard to assess people on things that they don't use. And it is sad when we hear the stories of people who for the longest that they've lived here since the seventies, never using trash service, and now we're gonna start sending them $3.50. So in my mind, while I still believe in the refuse district, I still recognize it as valuable. I do think that there's opportunities over the next few years when we move forward, which I suspect we will, to look for opportunities to offer exemptions to specific non-service related areas. This isn't specific to snowbirds, right? This is specific to no service at all, ever, throughout the entire year. And it's not a lot of people, but I think it's worth considering out of respect to those residents. The other comment, my apology to all the snowbirds and residents who now have to pay for and augment everybody else's service. But the benefit of this, and I just want to speak to the benefit, and we've talked about it in the past. You have a lot less trucks on the road, it's a lot less wear and tear on the roads. And I think it's going to save us money and provide a cleaner environment for all of us in the long run. So I do believe in it. I am going to prove the thing today, but it's not without reservation.
You know, I would like to say
I
something.
might kind of appreciate
Oh,
that.
sure.
Dave, what you just said last is part of the reason they're having the district, because everybody's supporting the district with the benefits that.
For the whole.
I understand, I understand, but it's,
Other benefits.
but
And realistically, Dave, because we're trying to be fair to everybody, we're never gonna make every single person happy. We see that never.
no, but.
Right? We can't govern for individual people because we
You're
never
looking
get
at greater
into that.
good,
But you also can't govern just for the majority. You have to be careful about that. You have to represent what's in the best interest of the village. And while we hear the majority, I understand there are times when the right thing to do is not the majority.
I think we're sensitive to both aspects of the discussion. I would like to say something very specifically about snowbirds, having lived down south for 15 years. So you have snowbirds, we're thinking of them in our village and oh my gosh, now they have to pay no matter what. They have to do the same thing in Florida
Sure.
when they're not there. And so it is it is literally factored in, I'll say it, the cost of their lifestyle, of how they choose to live and where they choose to live at certain times of the year. I've owned numerous properties in Florida and managed properties as well. Snowbirds come and go, and they have to pay.
So I'm not convinced. I'll try not to use a double negative. I think it might be possible to craft something like that. If you're not getting the benefit of the district, then,
Offer an exemption.
I'm still concerned about how you police that they're not getting any garbage
Okay.
service at all.
Can I just jump in? I don't know that we can solve this tonight.
No.
I think it's been a good, I think it's been a good discussion. I think we're here and now, and Justin, I want to say, I appreciate your comments on this in terms of where we are and why we've ended up here. And I think that we're looking at a majority of things of something that is good for our village that can maybe be tweaked. We have a 2-year contract. You gotta start somewhere, and here we are. That's,
I'm just thinking of a follow-up to these three
Mhm.
people or four people
Yeah.
that, you know, we're looking at for the next go around the next cycle.
yeah, in other words, this is where we are for right now, this is what has been put forth. And 34 times with the public, so. Okay, any more comments from the board? Okay. Yeah,
You received comments in the meantime. Do you want me to relay them to the board
Okay,
or?
public comment, we have some here as well.
yeah, oh, your hands up too, okay, let's take these and then we'll hear from you again in a minute.
Okay. Okay, Margaret Caraveras, 81 South Main Street. What are you going to speak with families who want to out offline about?
We are moving forward with exploring the possibility of next go around there being possibility of opting out.
Andrea Wilkes, how is this different from someone paying school and local taxes yet sending their kids to private school? I'm confused on trustee Marshall's point. Emily Diaz just said, thank you. I'm hoping that's because I've been so great with the computer tonight.
The answer to the school tax question is that that's not an assessment district.
Yeah, but I think, you know, in other
I
words,
I understand.
I think she's just using it kind of as an example that no matter what, you still pay the tax.
Right. but
It's no worth
if
paying
you're
for
not-
private in place in
If you're not taking advantage, if the district is not benefiting,
Mhm.
that's a different.
Well, I mean, I pay school taxes, I don't have kids in school, I'm happy to do it,
Right,
you know,
right.
but that's
That's
just
what I
neither
think
here
the
nor
two are
there.
different.
Yeah,
It's structurally.
yeah, I understand that, but I don't, still not lost on me.
The last one is just to me that, yes, thanks for fixing, because they were a person that couldn't hear the sound. I would have come in person, but I got barely, yeah, it's all good. We're done.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, very quickly, please.
Yeah,
let's get the board.
Yes, thank you. Justin Bleekstra, 19 Bell. I just want to clear some of this up a little bit. You have a law that requires people to get trash haulers. So the people that don't, the 173.3.1. So the law is on the books. So I guess theoretically, the people that don't want it, we can give those another supervisor. Not sure that would go over very well, but anyway, definitely clear this argument off that that's the law.
That in fact is something on the books. Appreciate that, and our attorney's looking into that. Okay, it's back to the board at this point. We're good with our comments and thoughts. I think we should call it to a vote, please.
Okay, just, I'll make
Yeah.
a statement.
Sure, a statement,
Thank you.
sure.
My statement is that I do not view a survey of 80 residents as an overwhelming mandate to this board. I'm not seeing that as a clear path. Or so I just want to preface my input on that, and I'm hoping that we can find an option for the 3 or 4 residents who do not use any service whatsoever to accommodate them in some way. I don't know what that way might be, but in fairness, I think that it should be. I don't mean snowbirds. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about individuals who just do not.
Yeah, I think we all heard that tonight, and I think we're all aware and sensitive to that, you know, and thank you for that statement. Anyone want to make a motion here? Wrap this up.
Motion being what? Let me make.
Here, do you want to tell what the motion?
What was the motion?
Yeah.
I'm gonna confer
Yeah, Jeff, do you want to
with
help?
Jeff, but I believe it's to accept the assessment.
How, yeah, how
That's
can
what
we
the public
make?
hearing said.
To accept, excuse me, the apportionment of the cost of the district totally to the residential units in the district and to confirm the assessment of
349.14
$349.14 for residential
year.
unit. Resident.
What he said?
Yes, I make a motion as to what our attorney has just stated. To make a second.
That's why I pointed to him.
Yes.
Do we have a second? I'll second the motion. Roll call?
Okay, trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
trustee Marshall,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Aye.
Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. I make a motion, we adjourn?
I second.
Oh, what?
No, we don't. Never mind. I take it back.
I know.
We did all of our work.
Yeah, no.
No, it was a brain synapse. It wasn't good.
I made a motion to adjourn. We had a second from trustee Cove.
Okay, trustee Lightgib,
Aye.
trustee Lanfair,
Aye.
trustee Cove,
Aye.
trustee Marshall, Mayor Plummer.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everybody.
Discussion.
Thank you, Justin.